Hey my Scrappy friends, welcome back to my channel for another process video. Today I'm going to be working on a 12 by 12 layout, and I'm going to be using the Echo Park Sweet Girl collection that I just did 2 videos back where I did a project live. I just really want to try to use all of this up as much as I can as far as papers. I know stickers might not get all used up, but if I can use everything else, that'd be awesome. So I had this idea where, actually, let me back up. I'm going to be working off a sketch. Now I can't show the sketch because unfortunately this was a paid class by Studio Calico. It was back in 2018 called Summer of Sketches, and they do this red round robin type idea where someone makes a sketch, they do it, and then the next person has to change that sketch up a little bit. So it was a 12 by 12 class, and like I said, it was so long ago, and I never did any of these sketches because of the fact that their style was very different. And to me, it's like a modern look to it. And so I kind of was intimidated. But you know what? I thought, I want to do something different. Let me just pull this out and I want to see how I come up with my modern day sketch. So I'm going to follow it to the T except for what I did right here, which is the mixed media. Now I can't show you the sketch, like I said, because it is paid for. But you could always happen to follow along on how I did mine. So I have those pictures, and I knew I wanted something on the background because in the sketch I didn't show anything. I didn't want it to be plain. So I did my own background using a rainbow stencil by Scrapbook.com. Now I'll tell you the trick on the stencils, because when I first filmed this I actually cut that part out because this would have made this video way too long. But I was using the edges of trying to actually put the stencil down and then use the whole entire stencil to create my background. But the problem with that is it will leave that square finish of where the actual stencil is, right? It ends. And so I didn't like the look of that. And so what I did, I decided to actually kind of mimic spots only in the center. So I have now the ink down, so I knew where the yellow would go without having to wash my stencil over and over again. You can see right after the yellow was the pink. It's very faded and light, and then the aqua green. So that's how I kept everything to where I didn't have the frame of the actual stencil on my layout. All right, so here's the papers that I'm going to be using, and I'm going to go ahead and first take the plain paper cardstock from SEI, guys. Oh my gosh, talk about a throwback right there. SEI paper. Yes, the pink matched beautifully, but as I flipped the picture over, I realized, oh, I wrote down the date. And I'm starting to do this more often because I lose sticky notes. I will write it down on a sticky note, and the next thing you know, I can't find the sticky note, and then I got to go back to my computer, which doesn't seem like it'd be a big deal. But you got to realize I'm documenting photos back from 2015. So that is a long ways to try to find this photo. Okay, so then after I get done matting up the pictures right there, so you can see I did first the plain cardstock, and then I went with the pattern cardstock. I then added ink splatters. Oh, I do miss ink splatters. I love ink. I really do, and I'm really honing in on my mixed media, but I'm not doing mixed media in the sense of how I used to do it, where I would do the packaging machine. I'm just now doing stencils or the ink blending style, and then adding some ink splatters to it, and I love that look right now. Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit modern. If you ever look on the Studio Calico gallery, they no longer have the forum that they would for their customers, but they have the design team gallery. If you go all the way back, I don't even know if it's still there anymore, but they used to have it, which I loved. If you go back to all the old days of the scrapbook layouts, they look very modern, where they would cut up pieces of paper and kind of stick them down on and kind of create some type of a formula, right? To where it's not just like, oh, throw down wherever they lay is where they go, but have some type of an idea of a design. And so I have to say that this is so different than what I normally do. I cut up some squares. I added some ink to those edges. I used the smoky something. It is a distress ink. And I'm just going to start gluing them down and layering them. And I have to say, it was so, it's just so, I don't even know how to, it was so new to me. That's why I'm so like lost for words, because it was just so cool how it all came out. And I have to say, it made things kind of layering a little bit easier. And if you've done this, maybe you've done this before. I haven't. So I was just like blown away of how easy it is to start layering up my products and start adding embellishments. So I go to the sticker sheet, and of course I see this adorable pink, or not pink, it's because I see the pink piece of paper. Adorable pinwheel. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, this has to go on it, because it's a picture of my daughter and her best friend for art day. And art day at school, they would have, it all depends on how many volunteers they get from the parents, but it could either go from just missing, like, you know, one class, or it could be the whole day where they have stations, and you know, it's like a big festival at the school and all the art shows, you know, and you get to see all the different classrooms of all the art, like a art project they came up with for display. And then you would have, like I said, booths where they would do art projects. And in this case, it was more of a smaller like year for this one. But my daughter was, and her friend, their classroom was to display artwork with chalk. And sorry, excuse me. And so that's what they did. And I apologize. I may cough here and there. If you guys have been following me for a while, I know a couple people are like, Desiree, are you sick? It has gone for a month. And my one friend's like, Desiree, are you sure it's not bronchitis? I just went to urgent care, just got back today. And it is a sinus infection, which I've never had in my entire life. That has been going on for a month. That now I have an ear infection. And if you guys all know, I am diagnosed with hearing loss. So my hearing is slowly deteriorating anyways. But I really, for the life of me with this infection, I really couldn't hear. Like, I mean, my family was like, have to be right up in my ear to talk to me. And so we knew it wasn't like a cold because no one else was getting sick, but I just assumed it was some strange cold. I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, I have a sinus infection plus ear infection. And okay, so that was enough about that. Let me just go back to my layout. So I'm adding all these cool stickers, you know, using up the supplies that are on, that I have on that sticker sheet. And of course I needed to bring some more yellow because I already put the yellow on the background. So I'm trying to make sure I include all the colors that I did for the background. And now I start going for chipboard, and there are these cute buttons. Oh my gosh, they are adorable. So I'm like, I have to use them. I don't ever use buttons anymore, but I gotta say, adding all these little different types of embellishments makes me want to bring out all the buttons that I have that are either chipboard or plastic, you know, your original OG type of buttons that are from like Maggie Holmes, and bring them out and start putting them on my page because they are adorable. They really do add a little touch of, you know, interest onto a page. All right, happy dance. Woohoo, celebration time. Come on. Okay, I know that's kind of silly, but I'm not kidding you. You guys are with me on this. It is a huge celebration when you use up a package. And let me tell you, that dear Lizzie has been sticking in my stash. It was from the Serendipity line, I think, what, from 2013? So we've got, what, 7, 8, 9 years? 9 years that it has been sitting in my scrapbooking room. And that one sticker has been in that package for I don't know how many years, at least a good 4 years by itself. No, actually, I take that back. I just recently used the other 2 that were in there. So no, I take that back. There was 3 stickers in that sticker package that had been sitting in my stash for at least over 4 years. So I finally used it up. I got super excited. It says, "Let sparks fly," because definitely I want those sparks flying with all their creativity. And, you know, I was thinking of the chalk, like getting all crazy on the sidewalk. And so I thought it was the perfect little sentiment for that picture. All right, now I'm going to add some baker's twine, and I've already done that to the top tag, making sure I do it on the bottom tag. Going to go ahead and add extra glue because you all know me. I told you with that adhesive dot runner, within a year, all of my stuff was falling off the page, and I'm sorry that I'm sounding so congested as I'm talking. It's getting a little worse. Okay. I apologize. All right, so then I'm going to add again, like I did on the left-hand side, different size though. They don't have to match. Of just adding that other piece of paper, and then I did do something a little different. Because the right side had a little bit more paper, I had to do a different pattern. So all I did was I took that one that looks like little squares that are kind of red and pink, I flipped it over, and that way it ties in the aqua and then brings in that little bit of red that is popping throughout the album, or not the album, I'm sorry. This is what happens when I'm like all congested. Not in the album, but my layout, and now it just looks more cohesive. It brings all of those colors that I have on that layout all together. All right, so this is where I'm like, well, wait a minute, I need another button. And when I looked at the button, I go, ooh, I have aqua paper, and the two buttons I have left dominate with the aqua colors. Not a big deal. I take it off because it's chipboard, easy fix. Yes, the glue is still down. Oh, you can see the bottom part of the chipboard has stayed there. Not a big deal. I'm just going to go ahead and glue it over, and then I'm going to take that chipboard piece and glue the back of the yellow one onto that other spot. And no one will ever know the difference at all. You really can't even tell. And then as I'm gluing that down, I'm going to go back and I'm actually going to add my twine through the little button here in a second. Be putting the thread through, but instead I'm actually going to be going back to that phrase sticker because I need to put one on the right hand side to add balance. And I got that phrase sticker from Studio Calico. That is one thing that comes in almost every documenter's kit, is that they give you phrase stickers, which is nice because I get a wide range of different colors. And then I wanted to add yellow, but I needed a small font, and this is another plus size of getting a documenter's kit or a traveler's notebook kit subscription, is the smaller letters. That is something that I definitely like to have in my stash, and so I have quite a bit from being subscribed to them for a year. And then after that, I am going to grab my tool, and I'm going to go ahead and make the holes so that way I can put the thread through. I did not decide to use a needle and embroidery thread. In fact, I went back and decided to use the twine, just so that way it works, you know, and matches up with the tags. And I have to say, it came out so cute because I end up bringing it backward. First I go this way, but then I end up pulling it from the back side up to through the front, and make a little tie knot on it, and it ends up being so super cute. As you see, I'm cutting that down. And then that's it, guys. This layout is done. I'm going to show you some close-ups, and I just want to say thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. If you're new to my channel, I would love to have you here. I hope you consider subscribing. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.